Question 1. Why have red routers been introduced in major cities? B. To help the traffic flow. Inconsiderate parking can obstruct the flow of traffic, and so make traffic congestion worse. Red routes are designed to prevent this by enforcing strict parking restrictions. Driving slowly in traffic increases fuel consumption and causes a buildup of exhaust fumes. If you want to pass DVSA Theory Test in first time, you can download our EOS app. App contains 2500 DVSA test questions, 250 hazard perception videos, 630 traffic road signs and 300 highway code rules. Even 98.50% people pass their test first time after using our app. You can find link in the description. Download app for free from App Store, which contains latest 2024 material licensed by DVSA Authority. Get 3 days free trial for a limited time. Let's get back to the video. Question 2. Which vehicle should you allow extra room as you overtake them? A. Bicycle. Don't pass cyclists too closely, as they may need to veer around a pothole, drain or other hazard, be buffeted by side wind, be made unsteady by your vehicle. Always leave as much room as you would for a car, and don't cut in front of them. Question 3. You're following a long vehicle as it approaches a crossroads. What should you do if it signals left but moves out to the right? D. Stay well back and give it room. A long vehicle may need to swing out in the opposite direction as it approaches a turn, to allow the rear wheels to clear the curb. Don't try to filter through if you see a gap. As the lorry turns, the gap will close. Question 4. What do these motorway signs mean? C. They're countdown markers to the next exit. The exit from a motorway is indicated by countdown markers. These are positioned 90 meters, 100 yards apart, the first being 270 meters, 300 yards, from the start of the slip road. Move into the left-hand lane well before you reach the start of the slip road. Question 5. You're waiting at a pelican crossing. What does it mean when the red light changes to flashing amber? B. Give way to pedestrians on the crossing. This light allows pedestrians already on the crossing to get to the other side in their own time, without being rushed. Don't rev your engine or start to move off while they're still crossing. Question 6. What does this sign mean? A. End of 20 miles per hour zone. Where you see this sign, the 20 miles per hour restriction ends and a 30 miles per hour restriction starts. Check all around for possible hazards and only increase your speed if it's safe to do so. Question 7. What does this sign mean? B. No overtaking. Road signs that prohibit overtaking are placed in locations where passing the vehicle in front is dangerous. If you see this sign, don't attempt to overtake. The sign is there for a reason, you must obey it. Question 8. What does this sign mean? No stopping. This is the sign for a clearway. Clearways are stretches of road where you aren't allowed to stop unless it's an emergency. Stopping where these restrictions apply may be dangerous and is likely to cause an obstruction. Restrictions might apply for several miles, and this may be indicated on the sign. Question 9. When may you cross a double solid white line in the middle of the road? B. To pass a road maintenance vehicle traveling A. You may cross the solid white line to pass a stationary vehicle, or to pass a pedal cycle, horse or road maintenance vehicle, if it's traveling at 10 miles per hour or less. You may also cross the solid white line to enter a side road or access a property. Question 10. Where would you find green reflective studs on a motorway? A. At slip road entrances and exits. Knowing the colors of the reflective studs on the road will help you judge your position, especially at night, in foggy conditions, or when visibility is poor. Question 11. Why should these road markings be kept clear? C. To allow children to see and be seen when they. The markings are there to show that the area should be kept clear. This is to allow an unrestricted view for approaching drivers and riders, children wanting to cross the road. Question 12. What should you do when you see this sign at a crossroads? A. Carry on with great care. When traffic lights are out of order, treat the junction as an unmarked crossroads. Be very careful and be prepared to stop, no one has priority. Question 13. You're driving on a country road that has no pavement. What should you anticipate finding on your side of the road? D. Pedestrians. On a quiet country road, always be aware that there may be a hazard just around the next bend, such as a slow-moving vehicle or pedestrians. Pedestrians are advised to walk on the right-hand side of the road if there's no pavement, so they may be walking towards you on your side of the road. Question 14. What's the nearest you may park to a junction? A. 10 meters, 32 feet. Don't park within 10 meters, 32 feet of a junction, unless in an authorized parking place. This is to allow drivers emerging from, or turning into, the junction a clear view of the road they're joining. It also allows them to see hazards such as pedestrians or cyclists at the junction. Question 15. What should you do if you have to stop while you're going through a congested tunnel? B. Keep a safe distance from the vehicle in front. It's important to keep a safe distance from the vehicle in front at all times. This still applies in congested tunnels, even if you're moving very slowly or have stopped. If the vehicle in front breaks down, you may need room to maneuver past it. Question 16. What does it mean when a moving vehicle is showing a flashing amber beacon? D. The vehicle is slow moving. Different colored beacons warn of different types of vehicle needing special attention. Blue beacons are used on emergency vehicles that need priority. Green beacons are found on doctors' cars. Amber beacons generally denote slow-moving vehicles, which are often large. These vehicles are usually involved in road maintenance or local amenities and make frequent stops. Question 17. How can you reduce the environmental harm caused by your motor vehicle? C. Keep engine revs low. Engines that burn fossil fuels produce exhaust emissions that are harmful to health. The harder you make the engine work, the more emissions it will produce. Engines also use more fuel and produce high levels of emissions when they're cold. Anything you can do to reduce your use of fossil fuels will help the environment. Question 18. Some two-way roads are divided into 3 lanes. Why are they particularly dangerous? C. Traffic in both directions can use the middle. If you intend to overtake, you must consider that approaching traffic could be planning the same maneuver. When you've considered the situation and decided it's safe, indicate your intentions early. This will show the approaching traffic that you intend to pull out. Question 19. On a smart motorway, what does this sign mean? A. Use all the lanes, including the hard shoulder. You must obey mandatory speed limit signs above motorway lanes, including the hard shoulder. In this case, you can use the hard shoulder as a running lane, but you should look for any vehicles that may have broken down and may be blocking the hard shoulder. Question 20. Your insurer will issue you with an insurance certificate. When must you produce this document for inspection? A. When a police officer asks you for it. You must produce a valid insurance certificate when requested by a police officer. If you can't do this immediately, you may be asked to take it to a police station. Other documents you may be asked to produce are your driving license and the vehicle's MOT certificate. Question 21. Where should you stop to rest if you feel tired while you are traveling along a motorway? A. At the nearest service area. If you feel tired, stop at the nearest service area. If that's too far away, leave the motorway at the next exit and find a safe place to stop. You mustn't stop on the carriageway or hard shoulder of a motorway except in an emergency, when in a traffic queue, or when signaled to do so by a police officer, a traffic officer or traffic signals. Plan your journey so that you have regular rest stops. Question 22. At an incident, it's important to look after any casualties. What should you do with them when the area is safe? C. Keep them where they are. When the area is safe and there's no danger from other traffic or fire, it's better not to move casualties. Moving them may cause further injury. Question 23. You're on a motorway. When can you use hazard warning lights? B. When you slow down quickly because of danger. Briefly using your hazard warning lights will warn the traffic behind you that there's a hazard ahead. Turn them off again when the following drivers have seen and responded to your signal. Question 24. You're driving on a clear night. Which lights should you use if the national speed limit applies and there's a steady stream of oncoming traffic? A. Dipped headlights. Use the full beam headlights only when you can be sure that you won't dazzle other road users. Question 25. What should you do when a person herding sheep asks you to stop? C. Stop and switch off your engine. If someone in charge of animals asks you to stop, you should do so and switch off your engine. Animals are unpredictable and startle easily. They could turn and run into your path or into the path of another moving vehicle. Question 26. If you're involved in a collision, what will reduce the risk of neck injury? B. A properly adjusted head restraint. If you're involved in a collision, head restraints will reduce the risk of neck injury. They must be properly adjusted. Make sure they aren't positioned too low. In a crash, this could cause damage to the neck. Question 27. What's the main cause of skidding? A. The driver. Skidding is usually caused by driver error. You should always adjust your driving to take account of the road and weather conditions. Question 28. You're driving in freezing conditions. What should you do as you approach a sharp bend? D. Slow down gently. Harsh use of the accelerator, brakes or steering is likely to lead to skidding, especially on slippery surfaces. Avoid steering and braking at the same time. In icy conditions, it's very important that you constantly assess what's ahead so that you can take appropriate action in plenty of time. Question 29. You're about to drive home. What should you do if you feel very tired and have a severe headache? D. Wait until you're fit and well before driving. All of your concentration should be on your driving. Any pain you feel will distract you, and you should avoid driving when drowsy. The safest course of action is to wait until you've rested and are feeling better before starting your journey. Question 30. What will happen to your car when you drive up a steep hill? Steep hill. B. The engine will work harder. The engine will need more power to pull the vehicle up the hill. When approaching a steep hill, you should select a lower gear to help maintain your speed. You should do this without hesitation, so that you don't lose too much speed before engaging the lower gear. Towing a trailer on a motorway. Question 31. What's the speed limit for a car towing a trailer on a motorway? C. 60 miles per hour. If you're towing a small, light trailer, it won't reduce your vehicle's performance by very much, and it may not be visible in your mirrors. However, strong winds or buffeting from large vehicles might cause the trailer to snake from side to side. Be aware of your speed and don't exceed the reduced speed limit imposed on vehicles towing trailers. Question 32. You're driving on a motorway and have to slow down suddenly due to a hazard ahead. How can you warn drivers behind of the hazard? C. Switch on your hazard warning lights. Using your hazard warning lights, as well as your brake lights, will give the traffic behind an extra warning of the problem ahead. Only use them for long enough for your warning to be seen. Question 33. When may you use hazard warning lights while you're driving? B. On a motorway or unrestricted dual carriageway. When there's queuing traffic ahead and you have to slow down or even stop, briefly showing your hazard warning lights will help alert the traffic behind to the hazard. Question 34. On what type of road surface may anti-lock brakes be ineffective? C. Loose. Poor contact with the road surface could cause one or more of the tires to lose grip on the road. This is more likely to happen when braking in poor weather conditions, and when the road has a loose, slippery or uneven surface. Question 35. How will a heavy load on your roof rack affect your vehicle's handling? C. It will reduce stability. A heavy load on your roof rack will reduce the stability of the vehicle, because it moves the center of gravity away from that designed by the manufacturer. Be aware of this when you drive round bends and corners. If you change direction at speed, your vehicle and/or load could become unstable and you could lose control. Question 36. What should you do if the vehicle starts reversing off the driveway? C. Sound your horn and be prepared to stop. White lights at the rear of a car show that the driver has selected reverse gear. The driver is hidden from view so can't see you approaching. Sound your horn to warn of your presence, and be ready to stop if the car reverses into your path. Question 37. What should you remove from your car before leaving it unattended? D. The vehicle registration document. Never leave the vehicle registration document inside your car. This document would help a thief to dispose of your car more easily. Question 38. You've just been overtaken by this motorcyclist. What should you do if the rider cuts in sharply? C. Keep a safe gap. If another vehicle cuts in sharply, ease off the accelerator and drop back to allow a safe separation distance. Try not to overreact by braking sharply or swerving, as you could lose control. If vehicles behind you are too close or unprepared, it could lead to a crash. Question 39. What information is found on a vehicle registration document? B. The registered keeper. Every vehicle used on the road has a registration document. This shows the vehicle's details, including date of first registration number, registered keeper, previous keeper, make of vehicle, engine size, chassis number, year of manufacture and color. Question 40. You want to turn left at this junction. What should you do if your view of the main road is restricted? A. Approach slowly and edge out until you can see. You should slow right down, and stop if necessary, at any junction where your view is restricted. Edge forward until you can see properly. Only then can you decide whether it's safe to go. Question 41. You're driving a car fitted with automatic transmission. When would you use kick down? A. To accelerate quickly. Kick down selects a lower gear, enabling the vehicle to accelerate faster. Question 42. You're driving at night on an unlit road. What should you do if you're following another vehicle? C. Use dipped headlights. If you follow another vehicle with your headlights on full beam, they could dazzle the driver. Leave a safe distance and make sure that the light from your dipped beam falls short of the vehicle in front. Question 43. What's the most important reason for having a properly adjusted head restraint? A. To help you avoid neck injury. In a collision, rapid deceleration will violently throw vehicle occupants forward and then backwards as the vehicle stops. Seatbelts and airbags protect occupants against the forward movement. Head restraints should be adjusted so they give maximum protection to the head and neck during the backward movement. Question 44. You're driving on the motorway. What should you do if luggage falls from your vehicle? B. Stop at the next emergency telephone and report. If any object falls onto the motorway carriageway from your vehicle, pull onto the hard shoulder near an emergency telephone and call for assistance. Don't stop on the carriageway or attempt to retrieve anything. Question 45. What should you do if it's raining and you're following this lorry on a motorway? B. Be aware of spray reducing your vision. The usual 2-second time gap increases to 4 seconds when the roads are wet. If you stay well back, you'll be able to see past the vehicle be out of the spray thrown up by the lorry's tires. Give yourself more time to stop if the need arises. Increase your chances of being seen by the lorry driver. Question 46. What should you check before you start a journey in foggy weather? B. The windows and lights are clean and clear. If you have to drive in fog, switch your dipped headlights on and keep all your windows clear. You should always be able to pull up within the distance you can see ahead. Question 47. You've been driving in fog. What must you do when the visibility improves? D. Switch off your fog lights. You must turn off your fog lights if visibility is more than 100 meters, 328 feet. Be prepared for the fact that the fog may be patchy, and you may need to turn them on again if the fog returns. Question 48. What will happen if you hold the clutch pedal down or roll in neutral for too long? C. It will reduce your control. Holding the clutch down or staying in neutral for too long will cause your vehicle to freewheel. This is known as coasting, and it's dangerous because it reduces your control of the vehicle. Question 49. What should you do if an instrument panel warning light comes on while you are driving? A. Check out the problem quickly and safely. Make sure you know what the different warning lights mean. An illuminated warning light could mean that your car is unsafe to drive. If you aren't sure about the problem, get a qualified mechanic to check it. Question 50. What information should you share if you're involved in a collision that causes damage to another vehicle? B. Your name, address and vehicle registration num. Try to keep calm and don't rush. Make sure that you've shared all the relevant details with the other driver before you leave the scene. If possible, take pictures and note the positions of all the vehicles involved. If you want to pass DVSA Theory Test in first time, you can download our EOS app. App contains 2500 DVSA test questions, 250 hazard perception videos, 630 traffic road signs and 300 highway code rules. Even 98.50% people pass their test first time after using our app. You can find link in the description. Download app for free from App Store, which contains latest 2024 material licensed by DVSA Authority. Get 3 days free trial for a limited time.